really weird how much time has passed, right? I mean, to really sit down and think about how much time has really passed. 3 years ago, June 2020, Dan Hooker, Dustin Poirier, I'm pretty sure both guys, top three, top four of the lightweight division, squared off to one of the best main event 5-round slugfest of Fight Night we've seen, in the last 5-6 years. It was just tooth and nail, both guys grinding to the fucking edge. It was one of the few times I was really actually thought these dudes were on the brink of death, both of them. Like they both got brain damage from that fight for sure, right? And then you fast forward 2023, you got Dan Hooker, who is now 2-4 out of his last 6. He had the loss with Poirier, got finished by Chandler, had the win against Nasrat, back-to-back losses against Islam, Arnold Allen, but has now kind of got himself back into the win column over a very dominant performance over the grappling heavy Claudio Puelles. But now you see Dan is now returning against Jalin Turner, right? And Jalin, the Tarantula Turner himself, let's say about 3 years ago, 2020, Jalin Turner himself is kind of in a weird position, 8-5, coming off of a lackluster performance against Matt Frivola before Matt Frivola had the name that he has today. Right before he rattled off a 5-fight, 5-finish win streak. Yeah, he's coming off the loss now to Gamrot in a split decision loss back in March. But the leaps and bounds that Jalin Turner has made over the last 3 years as to where Dan Hooker has found a lot of inconsistency over the last 3 years. You kind of see a yin and yang here of their careers, where Dan Hooker was at the top of his game, where he had Jalin Turner, we just looked like gatekeeper. And now you see Jalin Turner ranked lightweight, going out there and giving it his all against top 5 opponents, finishing guys like Brad Riddell, Jamie Malarkey, Super Prospect, and Uros Medic. I mean, he's really separated himself from the prospects and kind of got him into, ranked in almost elite status. And his fight here against Hooker can definitely catapult him to definitely solidifying his status as an elite fighter in the lightweight division. As to where you got Dan Hooker, as I've been saying, a lot of inconsistencies, coming off of a win now against Claudio, and he has an opportunity here to really put himself back into title contention against Jalin Turner. And Dan Hooker, I think it even came out today where apparently he was offered Tony Ferguson, and that really offended him. And I think that a big reason of his inconsistency isn't due to a lack of skill or maybe plateauing out. I think Dan Hooker's elite. I think he has heart, will, grit, determination, unlike any other fighter in the MMA world. But I think that the dog in him goes so much. It almost reminds me of what Gilbert Burns did here against Bilal Muhammad most recently, where he jumped in after his fight with Paul Felder. Crazy fight with Paul Felder. Then he had the crazy fight with Poirier where he got the L. Got finished by Michael Chandler. Took a little bit of damage. Took a little bit of time off. But he came back and had the win against Nasrat. But then the UFC pulled him in to use his name against Islam Makhachev. And I think maybe if he was healthy, a better game plan, maybe it could have been a different outcome. Islam is Islam. But I think that he just got that dog in him. He just was his own worst enemy, too tough for his own good. And he even came out and said that him getting new management is exactly what he needed because he would have rushed into things again, not let himself heal, not let his hands heal. He said that himself. So I think it's going to be very interesting to see how he responds with the most recent inconsistencies of his career, new management, and actually taking the time out, seeing a new, healthy Dan Hooker, still only 33 years old, still in his prime, but going against super long, lanky, young prospect like Jalin Turner, which I guess you could now call a veteran, who has now found massive success and huge leaps and bounds of just leveling up. So it's going to be very interesting to see. Very dangerous fight for both guys, but I think Dan Hooker, he's kind of in this weird lose-lose situation. His name, I feel like, is being used here But this is the fight he has to take to get himself back and to be taken seriously as a title contender in the lightweight division. And Jalin Turner, he just needs that big name. He needs the win against that big name to be respected against the elites, against the ranked guys. Because he's only beat the super prospects. You know, he's only beat the guys who are Brad Riddell, Jamie Malarkey, those guys who are 15, 16, 17, right outside the rankings. But his most recent outing, was a loss against Gamrot. But it was a very close split decision where he showed how sharp and precise and how good and rounded out of an athlete that he has become. Guys, I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts in the comment section. Do you guys think Jalin Turner or Dan Hooker is going to take it? To me, I got it 50-50, man. This is a pick'em fight. I can't bet against Dan Hooker, but Jalin Turner's looking so damn dangerous lately. This is a fucking phenomenal fight. So I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts in the comment section. Guys, don't forget to like and subscribe to continue getting more MMA content. By yours truly, Mr. Mustache, MMA News out. Let's fucking go, fight fans.